We are live on YouTube from Day 2 Star Wars Celebration. Andrew Fantasia's video is not amongst us right now because, well, he's Andrew Fantasia. He's there in Chicago. Also, Erin is joining us right now. You won't see her either. It's just my ugly mug. Andrew, how you doing?
Hey. Yeah, sorry. I'm invisible today. I'm just going to be a voice talking in your head like your conscience. But it's okay because we've got a lot to talk about today. It's not short on information.
Absolutely. Erin, how you doing?
I'm fabulous. How are you?
I'm great. Today we saw the Episode 9 trailer. We got the title for Episode 9. We don't have to call it Episode 9 anymore. I am so excited. Before we get into anything, I just want to say I sent the trailer to a bunch of people, including my parents, and my dad, within seconds of seeing it, said to me, "When are we getting tickets?" He said, "When are we getting tickets?" And he didn't like The Last Jedi and he didn't like Force Awakens, but he said, "When are we getting tickets?" Because it's Star Wars and it is back. Andrew, before I get to you, because you've got a lot to say and a lot we want to hear. Erin, what did you think of the trailer?
I thought it was awesome. That's all.
That's all?
That's all I got.
You did comment on something to me regarding it, though. You did.
Yeah. My observation of what happened?
Yeah.
I said that Kylo was training Rey.
You have to put it in your thoughts on the trailer. We want to know.
I got up at 5:30, and then I took a shower, and I took a hop across the street to NBC to see if their breakfast bar was open, and it wasn't. And then I caught the shuttle for the first time because I found out there is, in fact, a free shuttle to the McCormick place, even though the Sheraton Hotel's website said there wasn't. But there was a free shuttle, and on the shuttle, I ended up sitting next to this really cool girl from Utah. I didn't catch her name, but she was dressed as Rey,
nice.
And she looked a lot like Arya Stark from Game of Thrones. So I was like, this girl's set for life for conventions when it comes to like thinking of costumes. But yeah, I was just chatting with her for most of the morning, and then once I got into the huge lineup in the building, I sort of lost her in the shuffle. But I met up with 3 other gentlemen who I was interviewing. You'll see on my video that will come up on the channel later. And they turned out to be podcasters as well. And they're from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. It was just a huge fluke that I ended up next to them. They were 3 great guys named, if I remember right, Dan, Eddie, and Nova. And then once again, the line moved and I lost them in the shuffle. And I ended up right next to Rebel Watch.
No, how does this keep happening?
So funny.
I don't know. Pure fluke.
And they spoke to you in live. You were on. I guess you're going to be on the show, but you were on their Instagram story, and they posted a picture of you on, or a video of you on Facebook as well. They're great guys over at Rebel Watch.
Yeah, they're super nice dudes. And they were just. I was chilling with them in the lineup, with Mike, Ezra, and Holly. Their friend Holly was with them too. And then when we got into the main room, Ezra went to go. I think he went to go get the Master and Apprentice or something. He kind of went towards Delray, and then I didn't see him again. But then the rest of us went right to the main stage, and that's where we stood for the next 2 hours, and we watched the preceding panel together and cried together like little children when it was over.
By the way, Heidi Feder out there is surprised that you took a shower today, Andrew.
We all are.
Yes.
Shout out Heidi.
Me too.
Yeah.
Hey, Heidi.
All those people I just mentioned that I talked to, they are also glad I took a shower.
I actually do have one question because Celebration Orlando and Chicago, they're very different in terms of how you get into the panels and whatnot. I think this time it's a lot smarter. I don't know. I'm not there though, so I can't. I can't compare them. How is the smell? Is it better than Orlando?
So far, so good.
Nice.
But we're only on day 2, James. We're only on day 2, man.
Yeah, but it was
just wait.
Yeah.
Day 2 2 years ago for The Last Jedi. It was pretty raunchy, and when we stood at the Star Wars show stage for that. So speaking of which, you didn't get into any of the panels for today.
No.
You will be at one event. You did get into one. Thank
Yes.
you.
You got into one.
Yeah,
We did.
No,
You and I.
did. Maybe we'll show up. But anyway, you're getting into one, but you didn't watch this in a panel room today. Tell us about where you watched it and what the atmosphere was like there.
We watched it at the Star Wars show stage, just like when we did back in Orlando. The stage this time was a lot bigger. I was about I want to say a little bit closer to it than we were last year, if not around the same distance. Like we had very good, I was going to say seats, but we were standing. We had very good floor space, and they had 4 jumbotrons, like at different angles, playing it. So like no matter where you were standing, you were not going to miss a thing. And they made a point to. And this happened in Orlando as well, where they made a point to make you feel like you weren't missing out just because you had to stand at the Star Wars show stage as opposed to sitting at the celebration stage or something. So they really did that nice little gesture to the fans, be like, guys, you didn't get the short end of the stick. You're still going to have a good time. Trust me. Let's have fun. There was Cam, the host. He was energetic and he was great. And before we knew it, the panel was ready to go.
Yeah, Cam he was great. I forgot all about Cam, but he was awesome. Like he really makes at the show stage. He's like the warm up act.
Yes, at one point I because I was trying to get his attention and he got close enough, and I yelled out and I asked him if he was Ray's father, and I don't think he was amused because he promptly ignored me and kept walking.
Oh, jeez. let's before we get your full experience of this panel now, Andrew, and have the trailer, because that's what everybody wants to hear, so we're going to make them wait, is what we're going to do.
Is that they want to hear about the trailer? Really?
No,
I had no clue.
There's a keyword for Bloodline. Everybody is in the contest with Bloodline. Just tell us the keyword. We tried it yesterday, but we're extending it one more day, and we'll announce the winner tomorrow. We'll tell you when to say the keyword tomorrow, and whoever says it will get put into a draw, and you can win Bloodline by Claudia Gray, whose Master and Apprentice comes out on next week at some point. And I'm reading Leia, Princess of Alderaan, and so far I'm loving it. Claudia Gray is so far 3 for 3. Erin?
Yeah, I'm just reading the chat here. Hey, what's up, Erin?
She's got to be the one that says, what's up, Erin?
Yeah, obviously. So Erin has a question for Andrew. He says, can you tell Hayden, Andrew, you have to tell Hayden that he says hello and try to trick him into revealing that he's EP9.
Oh! What do you think about that?
Sorry, I caught only the first half of that. I heard you say, tell Hayden hello, and then what was the next half?
And try to trick him into revealing that he's EP9.
In episode 9.
In episode 9.
Wait. Sorry.
Episode 9,
Wait,
yeah.
I want to just correct Erin right now. Because Erin and I were talking during the trailer bit. It's not episode 9. It's Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Are we allowed to say that now? Can we just not? Can we say that?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. All right, anyway, sorry about that. Sorry. Erin,
in Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
I will make sure if I bump into Hayden, I'll try to sneak that question in there. Yeah. Be like, so Hayden, like, was it hot on set during episode 9? Like, were you comfortable? Was the costume comfortable? And just see if he flubs up and he's like, yeah, no, I was very comfortable. Oh no, I shouldn't have said that.
Oh yeah. So when you were there, what was the talk of the title when you got? Because I'm sure people were discussing it.
You know what? I didn't hear much title talk. When I was interviewing folks afterwards, one of the groups, I asked them, I said, like, what could Rise of Skywalker possibly mean to you? And they didn't really, have a clue. They didn't really have a concrete answer. They were just like, well, it could be several different things, and you'll see that later tonight what the answers they came up with. But everybody was pretty much more excited about the content of the trailer than the title itself, I think.
Yeah, I kind of felt that too. When the title came up, it was like, awesome. But then I started thinking about it, and Andrew, the thing that I've been saying this for a while, that I thought this trailer was going to be phenomenal, and we were all going to be, everybody's going to be back on the Star Wars bandwagon. And actually, one of our friends, John Hine, he sent me a message online, and he said, I'm returning my Endgame tickets. It's all Star Wars now. It's all Star Wars for me, which is obviously a joke. Everybody can relax. But I think the trailer did exactly what we kind of thought it would do, and it's also going to give us content to talk about here for 8 more months easily, because everything happened here, like, phenomenal. That obviously we'll get into the ending of that later, but that was obviously awesome. And then the title came, and it was like, well, that, like, the title for me, Andrew, I want to know your opinion. It changed almost my whole perspective of the trailer, and of the 2 movies, and of the 7 movies, 8 movies, not 8 movies before it, right? It's like it changed my perspective, and I'm like, oh, Rise, okay, what's up?
Yeah, it definitely put some context into the trailer that wasn't there, until we saw the title. And now I'm just interested in, because it's a very specific wording. It's not Rise of the Skywalkers, it's the Rise of Skywalker, as in like Skywalker being not just a name, but possibly an idea. So like I think that they chose that because it's kind of clunky wording if you say it out loud. The Rise of Skywalker, like it doesn't quite roll off the tongue. And I think they picked that wording on purpose.
Yes.
Whatever it means, I don't know yet. I can't wait to find out. But I feel like there's a very specific reason why it's worded in such an odd way.
I feel like every single title we've had, except for Rogue One and Solo, which are, I mean, even sure they fit in this as well. But they were thought out and they weren't just made up on the fly. There was a reason for those titles.
Mm-hmm.
And Rise of Skywalker, to me, Rise of Skywalker, it was voiced by Luke. We talked about this the other day when you gave the odds of Rose speaking in the trailer. By the way, awesome to see her on the panel. Exciting.
Yes.
Because when we saw, like, 2 years ago, we all commented, me, you, Erin, Brock, Rob, we all commented how great Kelly Marie Tran was on that panel and how much she loved being there. And it was great to see her there. And the reaction she got was fantastic also.
Yes.
She was welcomed with open arms.
With open arms, and but she got more than just she's bubbly this time, which I thought was also good. But so the emphasis is Luke talking and Rey with the lightsaber. That's really what the first half of this thing is about.
Yeah, that whole Rey thing was a very long part of the trailer.
And do you have to combine that with the title? Like you put all that together, like what? She has to be connected to Skywalker on some level. And I'm not saying bloodline. I'm not saying that. But on some level, whether it's Reylo or not, like she has to be connected to Skywalker some way, I feel. Like something needs to connect her with the title. Because of that opening movie. I know Kyle or whatever, but that's how I feel.
Well, yeah, for one thing, if Reylo ends up being a thing, think those two are going to hop in the sack and make a baby at some point. So that sounds like Skywalker Rising to me.
Oh my God. This is a kid show.
Oh my God. Keep it PG-13 here, guys. By the way, there's an echo apparently. We have an echo going on.
We have an echo.
We're trying
but
to
actually,
fix it.
in regards to that whole opening with Rey, it's funny, like Erin, you mentioned, it looks like they're training, and we're meant to believe it's a fight. I think I was just too stunned and in the moment and just not thinking clearly. I think I was just kind of a dummy during that opening scene because I did not clue in the first time I saw the trailer that was Kylo Ren flying that thing. Like we see the gloves, and obviously it's like that unique looking TIE. It's not a normal looking TIE fighter, but I just thought like, oh, okay, it's some like first order, hotshot pilot who's gutsy enough to try to shoot down this Jedi girl. He is in for a shock, and then they cut away. Like because we didn't see a face, I was just like, oh, it's just some random dude. So when I hear you and other people online saying like, oh, that she's training with Kylo, I'm like, oh, that was Kylo, snap. Now that puts that into a whole other context as well for me.
Here's a question. To Erin's point about Kylo and Rey teaming up, when we see that moment in the trailer, is that a training scene between Kylo and Rey? Is that actually them training? Is Kylo not like maybe starts in there and then gets out of there, or is he flying in and he's like, you have to leap over this because it would look badass in the trailer?
Who goes to an empty desert to like kill? No, they're
Star Wars.
definitely training. They're definitely training.
They're definitely training.
You have to think when you do hill training for a marathon, you go to like the middle of nowhere. I'm just trying to put it into context.
Naturally. Yeah. Andrew, what do you do for 12 hours while you're waiting for this trailer?
While I was waiting for the trailer, I just chatted with the Rebel Watch people and all the other people I met. And then I ate some Cliff Bars to preserve my strength. And that was about it. That kept me going. And I don't have water bottles to bring with me because all I can find is like $90 bottles of Dasani, and no thank you. So I've just been kind of stealing water wherever I can find it. So I'm trying to stay hydrated, and that's so far been the hardest part of the mission, I think.
You got to stay hydrated.
Absolutely. I just want to remind everybody that after this, like pretty much right after this, you guys are going to get the Andrew Fantasia's Star Wars Celebration Day 2 walking around where he interviews a bunch of people there and probably cries like a baby. Because I know what happened today, and you know what happened today. Andrew definitely cried. There's that one point in the trailer, we'll get to it, but I was like, I need to discuss this with Andrew. We need to discuss right now. We need to. I just got to say something to Heidi's point right now. I know Kylo's mother was a Skywalker, but I'm just saying with the first half of the trailer focusing so much on Rey and then that title, Rey, I mean, it could be through Kylo, that's her connection, but there needs to be something, or it suggests that there's something that connects Skywalker and Rey together, and it could be more than just that lightsaber.
Yeah, I can dig that too.
Well, we have 8 months to dig.
And then
yes,
I don't know, is it Musuki? MSS Musuki 777. Hi, who do you think Kylo Ren was killing if you notice he had stormtroopers with him? I know we haven't got to that part yet, but that is a question.
Yeah, we haven't got to that point, but Andrew, let's take it because I mean, everybody's bringing this up, but you brought it up and we were talking about briefly before your Wi-Fi ran out in your hotel room. Why don't you go on that and tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I freeze framed that when I could, because that looked like a Knight of Ren to me, or at least what we've been led to believe is a Knight of Ren. It looked like one of those flashback dudes from Force Awakens who was like, hey, we're Kylo with slight variations on our suits. It looked like one of those folks. And Kylo and his stormtrooper homies were fighting them. And Kylo cut that one guy down pretty fast. So I don't know how easy these guys are to kill. I don't know what their deal is, but there's a whole lot of, black armored ninja looking possible Knight of Renish folks running around in this movie. And I'm just like stunned and wondering like where the hell they fit into things. The only thing that I could think of, and this is far-fetched, and as you said, we've got months to talk about things like this, but just really quickly was like my first quick random thought was like, okay, so the person we hear at the end of the trailer started the whole turn to the dark side and leave Luke's academy and come join me, and Kylo broke away from that group and started his own thing. That's all I could think of, but I'm sure it's going to make more sense than that in the movie.
Maybe. Erin, you got anything for us?
Oh, I'm just reading the comments. She also liked your reaction to the trailer.
That was genuine.
Let me tell you something about James's reaction to the trailer. My favorite part is, he's sitting there in his car and he's getting ready and he's smiling to the camera and talking whatever. And then as soon as the Lucasfilm logo comes and you hear Daisy Ridley breathing, you just see, and I wish you could see me because I'm going to try to physicalize it, but you just see James's eyes widen, like his smile turns into like this serious look, and there's just like a shuffling of like his contraband as he's moving in closer to his screen. It was the greatest.
I was talking to our friend Scotty Hawk before it came on. He's like, it was like 11:30. He just messaged me. He goes, "Oh my God!" I'm like, "I know I'm at work right now, but I want to go on lunch. And I just want to sit down. I don't even want to think. I can't focus on anything. I was just waiting for it." And I set an alarm. I set an alarm for 11:59, and it went beep beep. I was like, "I'm on lunch," and I just went to my car.
And I hope every single coworker walked by your car when you were watching.
A few did. And I looked at them. And I was like. It's Star Wars. It's Star Wars. And they were like, "Stop it." I was not crying. Andrew cried. We know that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had a great time.
There were tears shed.
You know what? For me, so I saw Star Wars Celebration Anaheim. Chewie Were Home. That trailer. I watched the panel, and then walked to my car, not knowing they were going to show a trailer. And I walked to my car. And when I got to my car, the time it took me to walk down the stairs from our old apartment to my car, the trailer played. Oh. And I didn't even know. People were like, "Did you see it?" And I was like, "See what?" So I kind of watched it the exact same way, and then I watched Rogue One the same way. The panels are fun to watch online, I find. But nothing beats being there, Mr. Fantasia. How was Stephen Colbert?
Yes, I'm
He
dying
was
to
funny.
know.
He was he was Steven. He was great, and he knows his lore, and he's dropping references to like Nogri and he's dropping planet names like Yavin 4 without missing a beat. Like the man knows Star Wars, and he has a great rapport with J.J. Abrams, who is just such a funny human being. Like you forget, he's a director, he's a businessman, but he's not like a stiff in a suit. J.J. Abrams is a funny guy. His comic timing is on point. Like that guy could be an actor if he wanted to, and he could make people laugh. And he, when he talked, like people listened.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
absolutely. So, what were some of the highlights of the panel for you personally, and what parts of the panel that maybe me, someone like me watching from afar, maybe there were moments that popped there that maybe didn't for us, or just the atmosphere as a whole.
It didn't translate so much. Yeah.
The moments that popped, I guess, were just every time there was an image that came on, an episode 9 image. Like even Colbert commented, he's like, I hope I enjoyed this movie like half as much as you guys are enjoying these images. Because, everybody just went nuts for any new imagery at all. And the actors coming in and speaking it was great moments, and it was great to see them again. But the just being standing in a sea of people as I was, like that's how you watch a trailer for something like this, man. That is how it should always be. And unfortunately, that can't realistically be the case. But when I think of like the first Solo trailer, which I loved, the one from the Super Bowl, like that was a kick-ass trailer, and I loved it. But I thought, God, imagine how much more I would have loved it if I had seen it like this.
Yeah.
So it's really on a whole other level. Like that alone, seeing that trailer in that group alone, to me, when I walked away, I was like, that was worth the price of admission.
Yeah, I gotta bring this point up because I've been thinking about this the last few days, because obviously I'm not there in Chicago, and I really wish I was, and I'm looking forward to going to the next celebration. But we don't know anything about the next celebration. We know that there will be no movie in 2020, possibly no movie in 2021. Doesn't sound like Bob Iger is going to rush anything to the theater. Last year, they obviously skipped out on the celebration with Solo coming out. How do you feel about the possibility of, and I know before this was the case and whatnot, but the possibility of a Star Wars celebration without a film being released? Would you still attend that celebration?
That's an interesting question. It would definitely be a very different experience. However, I have a feeling it might be easier to get into panels if that was the case, because the excitement isn't at that zenith that it is here. I mean, like you all see how big these stages are at the McCormick Place. 3 stages filled to capacity, and then we had to stand at the Star Wars show stage, which is in a whole other area, and that's just people being excited for episode 9. So if it was a whole celebration where it was like 4 days of just panels like what we're getting tomorrow, like, hey, Galaxy's Edge, hey, EA Games, maybe it would be easier to get in and experience things firsthand. Like it'd be easier to sit in a chair and like be 10 feet away from, I don't know, Dave Filoni or Tia Sircar or something. So I think it has that going for it, but it would definitely be a very different kind of thing. It would be not lesser, but definitely on a different level of excitement.
So I've been thinking about this, like I said, and I think I would love to experience that. I would love to go to one where there isn't this big trailer release that maybe there's like, let's just for argument's sake say on the 20th anniversary of Attack of the Clones, there's no movie coming out that year. There probably will be, but let's say there's not. And they're like, okay, look, you come to celebration, it's going to be 4 or 5 days, whatever. But the only real thing is going to be this. It's going to be Attack of the Clones anniversary. We'll have a Galaxy's Edge update. There'll be a new video game. But then there's all like the other little amazing panels that happen throughout the day, and all the atmospheric portions of it. Like I was watching Den of Nerds' his Instagram. Josh had a picture of him strangling Jabba the Hutt. There's
yes,
the droid builders going around. There's all those things happening all over the place. And I think that I would love to go one year where there isn't this big hoopla. Like, if we're not awake at this time in line for this, we're going to miss everything. Mm-hmm. It just feels like it would just be a lot of fun to just go and actually, for the entire weekend, just celebrate Star Wars. Because one of my favorite days 2 years ago was the Rebels Day, where we wanted to get in the panel, but we didn't have to panic too much. We didn't have to wake up at 6 a.m., go to bed at midnight, wake up at 6. We just kind of enjoyed it and walked in there. We still got something cool out of it. And it was a great experience, that Rebels panel. Warwick Davis, all that was phenomenal. But it was still calm and it was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was relaxing after the, like you're saying, we started off with the big Last Jedi thing, and then the rest of the days were winding down with things like that. So I wonder if it was like 4 full days of nothing but the relaxing panels, if it would get kind of tedious and blasé after a while, or if we enjoy those panels because they're a nice palate cleanse from the ginormous ones like today.
Sorry, Erin's phone stopped working.
It's okay, I was digging that beat.
She's trying to get on so she could comment on people. I got Obi-Wan Kenobi says hello there. And now, Andrew, you have a line to respond.
He also has a... okay.
General Kenobi!
I'm going to have this here and here eventually.
Yes.
It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. Has the other question, Erin?
Yeah, we have a lot of conversation going on here, and we got to shout out Marsha from Port Credit. What's up, Marsha? Obi-Wan Kenobi says, what do y'all think about the return of Palpatine?
I'll go first because Andrews doesn't like Palpatine that much.
No.
So I think,
not a fan.
I heard the laugh and I said, not bad. Not bad. Andrew's going to let you take this one.
Okay.
Everybody grab a
put on some coffee. Put on some coffee.
Seriously.
This is going to go into extra innings here. Here's the thing. You all know I never shut up about Sheev Palpatine. You all know I love him. We've all speculated in the past few months, hey, maybe Palpatine might show up in this movie, but it was never, ever a sure thing. It was pure wishful thinking on my part. I still, this morning, was not, expecting, he's going to be in it for sure, for certain. I was just like, hey, it'd be cool if he shows up. And that's just talking about the movie itself. Like, maybe, come December 20th, maybe he'll pop up like Yoda did in Last Jedi for like a 2-minute cameo, and everybody's going to be shocked to hell, and it's going to be one of those things where it's like, don't spoil this movie for people who haven't seen it yet because Palpatine shows up. Then this trailer happened, and we get to the end and we cut to black, and it's that part of a trailer where we've all been programmed to know by now that this is the part of the trailer which is the Chewie we're home part of the trailer, where they twist the knife essentially. Same thing happened 2 years ago with It's Time for the Jedi to End. There's always that line that twists the knife and they get you. So the screen turns black after I see that giant Death Star, and I'm like, oh my God. And then I hear the laugh. And for like half a second, I was like, is that Mark Hamill just doing the Joker for fun? What's happening here? And then I hear it like for real. It's getting to me, and I'm listening to the full thing. And it's the Emperor, and he's laughing. And I just, I think I screamed. I don't know. There's about a second that I can't remember that it's missing from my life, but I think I screamed at that point. And all I remember is I had my hands over my mouth, and I was welling up with tears. And next to me was Mike from Rebel Watch, and he was in the exact same position. Everybody around me was gasping. And then Mr. Ian McDermott comes up on the stage to sort of verify, yep, that was him laughing. And at that point, I just melted. And I remember just looking to Mike, and we were both like, and at that point on, I was like, well, I am never buying a ticket for this movie.
Yeah, because it's all going downhill from there.
Yeah, what did he say when he got on stage? What did he say when he got on stage?
Oh yeah, do it. You can do it, Angie. Yeah. So do it for us. Hit us up.
Roll it again.
I thought something was up when J.J. Abrams was like, we're going to leave you now. We're leaving you now. It was like, why are you making such a big deal about leaving the stage? I was really kind of figuring that, but I was also recording myself at the same time. So it was like, and I was also, my heart was like, I was like, just play it. I got to go back to work.
Yeah.
So my lunch break was coming to a fast end. I needed to watch that thing. It was, The Last Jedi trailer was fun, and I think we talked about this before. It was like, that one was fun, but it didn't have the pizzazz. This one, like, I gotta just point this out. There is a shot in this one that is very similar to a shot in Solo, and it is one of my favorite film shots. It is a Western shot, and this is of the lightsaber around her waist, on her hip, and it's just like that Western shot over. I'm just like, bring it, man. Just bring it. This looks like The Force Awakens is a nice looking film. I think The Last Jedi is a beautiful looking film. This one looks like it's going to be a beautiful looking film as well. Like it just looks like Force Awakens is nice, but this one looks like, oh wow, it looks pretty.
Yeah, it's colorful. Everything pops. Speaking of Rey, I don't know if you guys noticed, but did anybody see during the panel, Daisy Ridley's rocking an engagement ring? She is no longer a free agent. My chances with her are 0.
Andrew.
Just stop everything right now. Daisy Ridley. Erin, is there something you want to say to Daisy Ridley? Because maybe she made a mistake.
No, I feel like...
She just turned 27.
Hold on, I'll message her right now. I'm going to message her right now.
They're tight. They're like this.
Yeah.
She just turned 27. Everyone broke into that happy birthday randomly on stage. That was kind of cool. Were they singing with you, Andrew?
Cool. No, because we couldn't quite, like, people were cheering during the part where she said it was her birthday, so everybody in my group kind of missed that, and then we heard the singing. We were like, we're too tired to join in. we'll just clap and nod our heads.
Also, nobody would hear you either.
Who's Tom Bateman? That's who she's engaged to.
She's engaged to Tom Bateman, you son of a gun.
Who is very handsome.
He's very
Not as handsome as you, honey, but he is handsome.
He's very handsome. Andrew, you got to shave.
Yeah, that's
shave when you got a chance.
I'm just gonna try my luck with Oscar Isaac. Wait, he had a ring too. Never mind.
Oh, highlight of the night, Finn.
Yes.
Boyega with the love triangle with Rose, Ray, and Finn. He goes, well, there's also one with Poe.
Yeah.
And they went for it. They took that one to heart. That was fantastic. And then Colbert had to ask. He didn't use the word, but he did kind of ask about Reylo. And she didn't say no.
No, she didn't. She kind of blushed a little bit too. So I'm thinking there's something going on there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they might just be trading. They might also be. They might also be blood relatives.
Neo Red said the trailer was missing R2. I totally agree.
I agree.
Totally
Very
agree.
true, my friend.
Totally
Very
agree.
Well, the panel was missing him too. They just kind of like shoved him in the back. They're like, R2's here. Go sit in the corner, R2. Don't move. That's like they kept cutting to BB-8. I'm like, yeah, BB-8's cool, but R2 is the heart and soul of Star Wars, guys. I still think that this whole thing should just end. I got my little BB-8 behind me. I said, Carlos, our pet rabbit,
I want to take
is basically BB-8 with the way he acts.
No one puts baby in the corner.
And there's little Carlos.
Oh God!
He reminds me of BB-8 the way
Disaster.
the way he moves
sneezing.
everything. I still think, and I said this before, that this saga should end with R2 being shut down. I don't think that's going to be the case. I actually think 3PO, especially after today, is really going to be the droid of importance to end this.
Oh yeah. 3PO's all over this trailer. It's like he is going on missions. I still can't get over how cool it looks where we got that shot of them. They're like, looks like they're on like some kind of mini floating pirate ship, and 3PO's just kind of holding on to the mast like Jack Sparrow. And I was like, dude, yes.
Didn't I? This trailer felt like it really felt like aspects of prequels. Like that part reminded me. You could argue Jabba's barge and everything, but that reminded me more of like Attack of the Clones. Like it seemed to fit in more of that era for me personally. I don't know how you saw it.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, because that's probably the only movie we've had since the original trilogy where 3PO was in the thick of things. So I can see why you would make that connection.
Interesting. A connection. But have you heard the rumor about what the MacGuffin is in this film?
I think you're the one who told me. I think that it's rumored to be his memories that were wiped,
3PO's,
right?
Yeah, and if it's Rise of Skywalker, and like I said, like 3PO is kind of Anakin's firstborn.
So
No.
he's Snoke, is what you're saying.
I'm saying he is Snoke. Aaron Quinnan has a Snoke theory up right now that I think you should check out. Andrew, you might dig it because it does tie him to Palpatine. Well, let's actually just talk about that because Snoke is the forgotten figure. He was the most obsessive one. If we wrote Snoke in a video, people would watch.
Yes.
It's true. Like people would be like, "Oh, we gotta listen to the Snoke theory." Is Palpatine in your mind at this very moment? And I don't like this is just a guess. Let's just it's a guess, just your guesstimation. Is Snoke at this point in time connected to Sheev Palpatine?
If I had to guess, if there is a connection, it's like his ghost is possessing random people, and Snoke was just one of the random people he was possessing until he got cut down, and now he's possessing somebody else.
Aaron's got a hot take for us.
Hot take from Erin. Chewbacca sacrifices himself and Leia presents him the medal in the trailer.
Oh my god. Erin, stop breaking my heart. Okay?
Well, talk about it, Andrew, and then I'll give my Sheev and Snoke thing right after.
That is a beautiful idea, though. And it does feel like there's some Legends stuff creeping through this movie. Like the whole idea of the Death Star. I don't know if you want to save that for later, but I have many questions about that Death Star. And some of them feel like a Legends kind of thing. So I can see Chewbacca's death being not an impossibility.
Okay, let's go into the Death Star because right when the trailer ended, on Patreon, one of our friend Andy, he commented that remnants of the Death Stars, that Death Star destruction. I'm paraphrasing what he said, so don't sue me. Was that your first thought? Is that what you believe it is?
Was it?
Is that the Death Star ruins?
The Death Star ruins. My first thought is actually something that I'm going to talk about later tonight in the Fantasia Files. That's a show we have for Patreons only. It's an audio only thing. I'm going to talk about the planets of this episode 9 trailer and all the different worlds we've seen. So that was my first thought, and I'll get into that in that show. But basically what was going through my head was, okay, I'm assuming this is Death Star 2 because they made the Emperor connection. And that's where he died, so it would make sense, to kind of make that transition like that. So if this is Death Star 2, was that Endor we were seeing, or was that like Endor's neighbor? Because I imagine debris wouldn't travel that far, or maybe it does. I don't know how space works. I'm not Neil deGrasse Tyson. Maybe it just keeps floating. Maybe it floated for 30 years and like crash landed in like Fresno or something. I don't know.
Well, it is Star Wars space, so it's not, scientifically accurate space.
That's right. It's magic space. I don't know. What did you guys think of the Death Star's presence?
I got to go back to Erin. Let Erin take this right after because I think she's going to like what I'm going to say here. If it is Endor, Ewoks. But that new character, Janna, right? Janna? Mm-hmm. That new character, Janna, they kind of brought up the Lando's daughter thing, and she made a joke about it. But Slash Film reported that they actually think that she is actually... this could be a spoiler, so I don't know if you guys want to mute this for a second. But it could be that she was a child who was kidnapped to become a First Order Stormtrooper but escaped at a young age. I like to picture in my own headcanon that is the case, but she lived and was raised by Ewoks. So I hope everything you just said is accurate. Erin,
everyone's like, yes, Ewoks. Erin, I totally agree with you. Hashtag don't kill Chewie.
Ooh, look, if you're going to kill somebody...
Nia Red says. Nia Red says, hashtag don't kill Chewie.
I agree. I think, we've had enough of the main characters going the way of the dodo. But at the same time, if any of the remaining characters are going to go, I think it's got to be Chewie.
Yeah, I think as much as I love him, I would rather lose Chewbacca than either of the droids. Because the droids are even more near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, I think Chewie can easily go, but I still think you gotta shut down R2 for good. You gotta shut him down. He is, for me, as a child of the 80s, the heart and soul of Star Wars. He was there for the original. He's there for the prequels. He has the best introduction in the prequels.
Mm-hmm.
He has all of his data still stored. They wiped 3PO's memories, which the rumors are going to go to the Tantive 4 and grab those memories. But anyway, that's besides the point. R2 still has him intact, and he probably has more than 3PO because 3PO was left on Tatooine for 10 years in between Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, where 3PO gained the trust of Anakin. Maybe not. Obi-Wan had R4, but R4 was forgotten. And obviously Padme Amidala as well.
So what you're saying, James, is that while 3PO was on Tatooine between episodes 1 and 2, Shmi Skywalker was like, I think some bad stuff's going to go down. I'm going to make a backup of your memories and store it somewhere so that if you ever get erased, the world can still know that my son was the only human who could pod race. And he was like, if you say so, Master Shmi.
You knocked that impression out of the park.
You're welcome.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Do you think Shmi will have any kind of importance to what's going on here, or is she just a character that is long forgotten in Star Wars?
You know what? Yes, and I'm not even being facetious. I think that maybe we won't see her, but I think Shmi's existence is going to play a part, no matter how small, in the story of this. It's going to matter. She might even get name dropped.
You think she's going to get name dropped?
I think that's very possible at this point.
Well, you know me. I want Shmi to have an impact on this because she's, especially hearing Sheev at the end of the trailer. She has she's the first Skywalker, and I don't know where this came from because I doubt it was me. It might have been one of our viewers. It might have been an article I read. So forgive me if it was you. But what if Skywalker was a slave name that Sheev gave to her? And what if Sheev was actually her first owner and he sold her, knowing that he would circle back to that time? Because in the comics, they do kind of allude to the fact that he is Anakin's father, which was also the original plan for Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, they did that thing in the comics where Vader saw him kind of putting his hand on Shmi's belly, and then you see like some midi-chlorian stuff go down. But that happened in like a vision inside the dark side of the Force, so I don't put a huge amount of stock in that. Like, I'm not sure if they're implying that, yes, this is what happened, or if they're saying, like, these are Vader's fears and hopes and dreams, you know, kind of made flesh because he's walking through the Force. So I'm not putting all my chips necessarily on that comic being, like, legit 100% concrete canon until somebody, you know, official kind of says that that's the case.
Okay, but what do you think? If you wrote it right now, what would you do?
Oh man, that's a good question.
That's why I asked it, Andrew.
Yeah, good job, James. You do good work over there. I would make it that what you're saying. Yeah, Palpatine orchestrated it just because it would make his appearance in 9 more interesting than just, hey, I'm a random Force ghost. I'm dead, but boo. This would be more of like, you know, I've been manipulating you from the beginning, and here's how in a PowerPoint presentation. That would kind of, you know, make it more neat, I guess.
They threw that in there. So I went on the podcast a few times and I said I thought the Chewie we're home moment was going to be Leia.
Yes.
I think everybody rightfully corrected the fact that thinking that Leia would be in the trailer, and of course she was, and that's why when that poster was kind of revealed, you know, when she wasn't on it, it was like, well, that's weird. That she was. Everything else still happened though. Those freaking fricks, that weird alien from the Explorers, he's in it, and Chewie finds him. What's his name? Krod?
Yeah, I couldn't make out what that was. Like, yeah, I think Krog or something. I don't know. He's cool though.
I thought he said it was something with a G, but then he spelled it, I think, with a D. I was in my car. I don't know. No, I was in my car. I don't know what was happening. I was drunk. What?
Oh.
Not really.
It's a new one.
It was new here. But the aliens all look good. There was one that they showed, and I don't know what he looked like. He was particularly awesome, I thought.
I liked the ones that were like they were just like dudes in robes in the desert.
Yeah,
those aliens were gorgeous. I don't know what their deal is, but I can't wait for the DK book so they can tell me.
Absolutely. Do you know what planet they were on in that desert planet?
They were in Nevada, James.
Okay, that's not a planet.
That's not a planet, or is it?
Well, any idea?
Who knows canon planets more, sir?
That's true. Rebels might have introduced it because they introduced like 81 new planets on that show.
Yeah, there's a lot of new planets.
There's
Rebels.
Hey, before we go forward, what's our keyword?
Oh yeah.
Solo.
Remember that for tomorrow, kids.
Keyword solo.
You can win this book if you haven't read it. If you have read it, because it's old now, so that's probably not real. But it's signed. Actually, no, it's not signed.
Oh.
Never mind. It's not. Where would I get it signed?
False advertising.
I have tweeted. Claudia Gray has like 2 or 3 of my tweets before, so I think so. This book will be yours, and it'll be shipped from somebody who had 2 or 3 tweets liked by the author. What's that?
Why don't you just sign it?
What's the keyword again? Yeah, I'll sign it. What's the keyword again? What?
Solo's the keyword.
All right. Like a cup. Like a cup. Anything going on?
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
This is riveting.
I'm trying to keep it on. I'm trying to keep up. I mean, there's so many like different. I don't even know.
Aaron, were you frightened by the Emperor's laugh? Did he scare you?
He didn't scare me. He made me excited. No, not in that way.
she actually thought it was really cool. She commented.
No, I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, I think. Look, we were promising they're going to tie everything together.
Mm-hmm.
Who better than? Because look, the prequels, as much as they're about Anakin, they're also about Sheev's rise and takeover of the galaxy.
Right.
And the reality is, look, he goes out in Jedi, but if you're gonna make 3 more movies, is that the way you want him to go? Like, he goes out like Boba Fett style. Like, we gotta get rid of him quickly.
Exactly.
So I think it's well played, and I think if they do decide to somehow connect Snoke with Sheev, because look, Snoke, I don't know why I'm going down this path right now, but I am, because Snoke is a character, and he had a huge, massive influence on Kylo, on Ben. He was around Ben since he was a child. They mentioned in the Force Awakens novelization that it was since Leia was pregnant or something, right? It's one of those books. So he's been around. Like this is a reality of this character, and if that character is connected to Palpatine, and Kylo Ren figures that out somehow, that could change everything.
Never tell me the odds.
Oh no.
Oh.
Snoke's whole deal, his backstory, an explanation of who and what Snoke is going to be a mini series on Disney Plus.
12%.
Wow.
Here's why. Because what I just said is 100% accurate, and you're already going to find that out, and it's not very interesting.
Yeah.
I actually would go full Brock on it, to be honest, because it depends on if it is what I just said, like around that area. How interesting is that? If they decide to go something bigger with him, then I can go with that. Or if they decide that he's had many adventures, separate from that on the unknown regions and whatnot. Okay, fine. What about you? What's your odd?
I'm gonna go maybe like 28, 29. Not much higher.
Yeah,
but
well, you're knocking me for going low, and you're like, I'm gonna go even lower than you.
It's something that I think, like, I feel like there's just no room in 9 to have more Snoke than just maybe a passing mention, like, you thought Snoke was bad. Just I don't know, just something way better than what I just said in reference to Snoke, because like you mentioned, by the time this trailer was over, we saw nothing or heard nothing of the man, and we didn't care, which is such a far cry from how it was 2 years ago. So I don't think there's room for him in this movie if we're going to be tackling bigger themes like Sheev, in which case I think that's something that they would want to keep reserved for somewhere else. And, initially our minds go to books, but he's such a visually striking character, and we know he didn't always look like that, so he has a whole other visual side to him we haven't seen yet. So it would be nice to see his story in a medium that's not just text. So that's why my mind went to Disney Plus.
Yeah, I can see that. I just think, I don't know. I think if they tie him into Palpatine, it erases a lot of the problems with Snoke up until this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I shouldn't say erase, but that's your storytelling is right there. It's like the reason you didn't know anything is because he was just somebody that worked for Palpatine, and when the time was right, he got Kylo. The only question is why. Here's something for you, Andrew. As a big Emperor Palpatine. Oh, actually, Slide Akbar.
Oh,
the new Black series of Emperor Palpatine. Did you see it?
I did, yeah, and it's literally the exact one that I already have, just with the chair. So I don't know if I'm gonna pony up and buy it, but it is beautiful.
Well, if it goes down to $30 like that, Luke Skywalker, you might as well. Here's the thing.
Maybe, yeah.
But the timing of that all of a sudden is making sense now.
Oh, yes, it is.
I just thought it right now. Like, well, that's why we're getting it, because he's back.
Mm-hmm.
He's back. All right. No, yeah. If you tie in Snoke with Palpatine, I'm not saying Miles in the wrong. I'm not saying that he took over his old body. That maybe Snoke worked for him, or who knows what it was.
Yeah.
But that could just that's your story for Snoke. Now, to your point about Disney Plus, yeah, you could be like, oh yeah, and he was with Thrawn at this point. I'd be more interested in Ezra Thrawn series on Disney Plus, because where are they and what's going on with that?
They are becoming Pierce Brosnan and another random young man.
How wild would it be if tomorrow during that is it tomorrow the Rebels panel? I think it's tomorrow. If that Rebels panel, they're like, by the way, live action Rebels is coming. Brosnan's Thrawn, and all the actors that those characters kind of look like walk out, and you're just like,
that would be really funny.
Episode 9, you come in second place.
They hit a spoiler right under our nose.
Yeah. Well, did they officially reveal what's under that black curtain on the banner?
They didn't, but I found the lady who's selling that artist's work, and I saw a little mini ribbon of that banner, and I saw the end of it. I saw what that last bit looks like, and it's it's nice. It's just more Rey, Kylo. I think there's some Finn and Poe in there, but it hasn't been unveiled yet.
That's strange because it's I said underwhelming. It's not underwhelming in that I don't like it. It's underwhelming in that what's spoilery in there that they would have to.
Yeah, there's nothing spoilery.
Yeah, unless she has a different print. Because why would also somebody be able to sell that print before they've unveiled it?
Yeah, that's true.
It's weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
That whole thing's weird because I thought I saw it that's cool, but that would have been cool if you just showed up and you saw that right away. And I kind of understand that this was the big coming out party for Episode 9. Rise of Skywalker. Got to stop saying Episode 9. We should put a toonie in a jar. A toonie is a $2 coin. Here it's a quarter. A $2 coin north of the border because we don't have bills anymore. We're just like, screw bills, and we do change and tap.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't even know my PIN anymore.
I went to a parking meter the other day and I had to call my boss and say, how do I pay for this? They don't take credit cards here. And he goes, why would they take credit cards? Because it's not 1977, dude. So I had to go in my car and squeeze in the seats, and I found 75 cents. And they got me a half hour, and I was there for 40 minutes. And I didn't get a ticket. Anyway, we should start having a Rise of Skywalker episode 9 jar. Every time we say episode 9, we put money in the jar. And then, in 2-3 years, we all go to Celebration with that money.
Ooh, I like that.
Actually, we'll be able to buy all the Black series you want at Celebration.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
And you didn't do any shopping today, correct?
Correct. I did no shopping today. I'm going to try to do some tomorrow. I'm still going to hunt for that tank top for you, Erin. Hopefully I find somebody selling Star Wars tank tops.
Honestly, I found so many. Funko booth. Okay, I have faith in you, Andrew. You got this.
I think the Funko booth, you're better off on Monday.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Sunday or Monday. Was it Sunday? Last year, the second year, the second last
day.
Remember
One day was just sold out, and there was nothing left.
Yeah, well, all the ones that brought ones are going to be gone, but they'll have smuggler bounty boxes for $20, $25.
Mm-hmm.
And I got my Rogue One there. Yeah, that's the good one. That's when you go, because tomorrow's Saturday. Dude, good luck.
Oh, it's gonna be
that's
packed
true.
tomorrow.
Good luck.
Now, just so you know, if I do get a smuggler's bounty box, if I remember right, those things are kind of big. I may have to open it so I can fit its contents into my luggage because I only have 2 pieces of luggage.
Yeah, that's what we did last time.
Yeah, we had to open it up and put it in.
You're not getting me one anyway. Talk to Brock and Rob. They're They're into that.
Yeah.
I mean, you might get me one if they have the one that I want. Which one do I want? We don't know.
Watto?
No, that's not a Smuggler Bounty. That's exclusive. I want Watto a mall a lot. A mall we won't be getting in Canada, but Watto will be a Hot Topic exclusive, I believe.
Perfect.
Yeah. So everybody in the States, keep your eye on Maul. At first, I was hoping Maul would show up in the trailer. Imagine Maul's just in every single Star Wars movie going forward.
It's the same kind of context, though. Like, at one point in the movie, like, Poe calls him. He's like, wait, I know a guy. And he brings up Maul, and he's like, Maul, do you have any advice on how to get to this planet? And Darth Maul just stands up and forces the lightsaber into his hand, and he's like, no, wrong number.
Why aren't you writing for Lucasfilm?
I'm trying, James, okay? Pablo Hidalgo's lawyers are very mean. The restraining order is only getting bigger.
Have you run into Pablo Hidalgo yet?
No, not once. I thought I saw yesterday, though, completely right. I thought I saw Simon Pegg. I could be wrong. Like, it was a guy who looked a lot like Simon Pegg, and he was just walking past me.
That was Ezra from Rebel Watch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There we go. That explains it.
Did you see Josh at all today, or Al Schuler, or any of the Dens?
Not today.
I don't know why I call them the Dens. Like, that's what they are. It's a group. They're the Dens. What are the Dens? The nerds.
Erin wants Andrew to have Ashley sign a napkin for him.
What's that? Sorry?
He says, Andrew, have Ashley sign a napkin for me, for all I care.
Sign a napkin for you.
I believe that's a reference.
Yeah. And Miles thinks we should all, Rebel Scum podcast should sign this book.
Should we all sign it, Andrew?
Yeah.
I think that's a beautiful idea.
But I'm only
too.
signing page 31. That's
I want 25.
Just take
Jericho
a black
likes
marker and like
Andrew's,
cross out key plot areas.
Jericho likes Andrew's picture there.
Who does?
Jericho.
All right. Oh, Jericho Kane. Your old
Oh,
friend.
Jericho Kane's watching.
Yep.
How you doing, brother?
Yep. Shout
He's
out.
doing well. He's doing well. Guys, anything you want to talk about the trailer, let us know in the comments below. So, I freaking loved the trailer, Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see one red stormtrooper?
No, I didn't.
So-
Good call. I forgot about those guys.
But here, so when I saw that, because you know I love stormtroopers. I think we're well aware of my love for stormtroopers. When I first saw the post, I said, they're red. And then the other thing I thought of was that maybe they're not red. Maybe it's because if you look at the color scheme, it gets redder as it goes down, right? It goes kind of like white, blue, red, and deep red. What if that's just a glow effect, almost like they are just in the red at that point? Because in that scene, in the forest, they are white, but that scene is red. That whole sequence was, that shot was completely red.
It was.
And so that was, I was like, oh yeah, I think, that might be working. I mean, that poster also might be, the work of somebody just having a good time, which is totally plausible as well. But if it's not,
it's funny that you just bring them up because, like I said, I totally forgot about the red stormtroopers. I think that is correct. I could be wrong, but that's a visually striking addition that I feel if it existed in the movie, they would be proud and they'd be like, look at this, let's put it in the trailer. Same way they did with the Praetorian Guards. So the fact that they weren't in the trailer, I think it tells me that they're probably not in the movie. And I'm okay with that because we have what looks like Knights of Ren fighting the First Order. Like I said, this movie is packed. If there's extra stuff you want to put in, maybe wait till Rian Johnson's movies or something, because there is very little room in what I am sure is going to be a 4.5 hour long movie.
oh, absolutely. Aaron Quinton has something he wants to say to Andrew right now.
Oh, he loves your Star Wars Celebration footage, Andrew. And I will
thank
definitely,
you.
and he's definitely going to buy a side scroller. Whoop whoop!
Aaron, thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate that, and I'm glad you like the footage. I don't know is the new video up yet, or is that coming up after?
That's when we get off the air, we'll put that up.
Okay,
So everybody
cool.
watch day 2. His day 2 coverage goes up. I got to watch it because I get to watch everything that it does. I approve it. And it all gets approved because I'm lazy. But I just have to point out one thing. I've been telling everybody to go on Instagram, check out the Rebel Scum podcast page on Instagram because you have your video stories going up. And Andrew, I didn't get any videos for the video story today, so we're gonna
right.
We're gonna have a conversation about that later because our social media guru Erin was not very happy about it. Were you, Erin?
No, I was not.
That's genuine disappointment.
That's it. I'm coming down. I'm driving right after this video. I'm on my way.
I just pictured Erin sipping from her wine glass as she said that. She kind of like mumbled it into her glass, like, "No, I was not."
It's empty, for the record.
These are our Star Wars wine glasses. That's how you know you're classy and nerdy all at the same time.
You know what? I took a video on the street. I'll give you guys that for an Instagram story.
Great. Look, people want to see banners. What you buy me. Because what I'm hoping you'll get is a $9 thing of Reese's Pieces. Is what I'm really
Apparently, I'm going to be charged just for picking the damn thing up. So.
Well, we got to figure that out. What?
Yeah.
No, I had something else I wanted to say.
Fans, you know what you should do is everybody simultaneously call the Sheraton Grand Hotel in Chicago and be like, don't charge Andrew for the candies that he just picked up to look at.
We're going to start a GoFundMe for Reese's Pieces.
Stop jostling with the candies.
Or it's a GoFundMe for $10 that Andrew can afford Reese's Pieces for his mini fridge. There was a cabinet. I opened it. I put my shoes in there, but it was full of candy.
It's censored.
I don't know if you want to say this on camera or not, but we did on episode 121, not 122 like I called it the entire time. Episode 121 where we did Never Tell Me the Odds of how many slices or how many times Andrew was going to have deep dish pizza. You have been in Chicago for 3 days. Tell us how many times you've had deep dish pizza. You don't have to go into detail why if you don't want to, but have you had a slice of deep dish?
I'll tell that story another time. But the answer is yes, I have had a slice of deep dish pizza so far.
Okay. You're going to have to get your stuff together on the deep dish because I think I went high on that one.
Yeah, the night is young, my friend. It's a Friday. Let's go.
Finding restaurants, finding like dinner has actually been a bit of a chore because in the area where I am, like it's right in the downtown hub. So it's not like there's like a fast food joint close by. Like it's not like there's an In-N-Out burger or whatever. Like literally the only restaurants within like a 10-15 minute walk are like high class like steakhouses where business people go to like hold lunch meetings. And like I've been trying to find something that's like more affordable in the area, and it's been tricky because any downtown core, you're not just gonna find a McDonald's lying around. Everything's sort of like fancy schmancy, so I have to do some walking before I find places that are not going to charge me out the ass for a slice of pizza.
You're in Chicago, Andrew.
I know.
Just want to
and
let
the
you know.
exchange rate is real.
Yeah, it's...
But the bean is free. Go see the bean tomorrow.
I saw the bean today.
Oh, you did? Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
Today you basically just watched the trailer and left, right? You just were like, screw this, I'm done.
Yep, I said, screw James Razile and Rebel Scum podcast. I will have no more of this. I interviewed some folks on the show floor for about an hour, and then I was like, if I'm going to have time to get back here for this, I better go eat now. So that's what I did. And I'm not eating. There was this girl I was talking to said she bought a $20 hamburger, cafeteria-style hamburger at the convention center.
Brutal.
And I was like, no, thank you.
Brutal. Have a good night, Miles.
See you, Miles. Thank you very much.
Bye, Miles. Thank you.
So did you get to see the show store today?
No, actually, I didn't even walk past it today.
Interesting.
But I heard there was a girl. One of the girls I interviewed said she went in there to take a look, and apparently they said they can put her into a draw or something, like scan her code and put her in a draw. And if the line gets shorter than like 2 hours, they'll text her and be like, "Oh, if you want to come now, the line is short." So it's still
that
messy.
Sounds terrible. Here's what I get.
Still on standby. That's crazy.
Yeah, this is what I don't get. So I went to Star Wars Celebration. That was my first convention of any kind.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just the line there. The line 2 years ago, which was long, apparently is nothing compared to what it is now. Which is I can't even fathom that. Like I can't. You told me, and I'm like, I can't picture that. I don't even know what that looks like. I saw a video, and I was like, I remember that, but this is stupid. But then I went to Fan Expo a few months later, my very first fan expo in Toronto, which is a big convention. I guess it has more people than Celebration typically does. I don't know about this year because it's so big, but they had a show store like on every floor, on like every corner. There was no issue getting anything. Unless, I mean, actually, the shirt that I got, the Star Wars 40th anniversary, my size, of course, was sold out. The one I went to, but another one had it, so I just walked to the other one. Why is it that there is only one show store for Celebration? It makes no sense.
I have no idea. And the show store this time around is much bigger too. Yeah, the Fan Expo. Like I've been to Toronto Fan Expo on like its busiest days on its Saturday, and that is a fraction of what is happening right now in Chicago. Like this is massive. I've never seen so many people in one place. Like it really put into perspective for me. I was like, oh yeah, the population of the United States of America is significantly bigger than the population of Canada, and here's why. So that whole size, comparison was very apparent here, and it's sad that they have these exclusives, and so many people clearly want them, but getting them is like I was going to say it's like winning the lottery, but in this case that's literal. You have to win the lottery if you want to get your hands on some swag.
No, it's absolutely true. Which, look, I think the lottery system, people have been complaining, and I'm not there. From an outsider's perspective, I think, as somebody who went 2 years ago, I thought it was a brilliant idea. Way better than stay overnight and you might get a wristband at 6 in the morning, and then you get to be herded like cattle into another room. Like that to me was like, I'm good with not doing that.
Turned us off. They've definitely listened to the recommendations and made some adjustments for this year, which is good, but there's still more to go. It's funny, I was laughing. Neil had a comment here. I'd laugh if the whole Palpatine thing was just a red herring.
Oh my God, imagine.
Yeah.
Do you think they'd have the stones to do that?
The laugh was actually just Ian McDermott on the stage laughing. It had nothing to do with the trailer.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm just here for this. I would but by the way, you guys can't see Andrew. I can. It got really dark really fast.
It got very dark. And now I'm going to go refill my water.
Sweet. What's the weather like in Chicago?
Today it was nice and temperate. Like it was warm. I could walk down the street without having to worry about wind blowing me away or freezing every part of my body. But it's fluctuating. It's kind of like Canada right now, where it's every day could be a different season.
It was warm today. It was like 15 degrees here.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you got it.
It's raining, mind you. We can't have it all, but it was 15. So I'll take that.
The reason I asked is because I saw people tweet, and you weren't involved in this line, unfortunately, but the people that waited to get into the Episode 9 panel, I guess the ones who had tickets who waited or were on standby, they were greeted by crew members, I believe, or people, not JJ, but I think they were from JJ, as they said, with breakfast from McDonald's and little Episode 9 to-go boxes, as well as Episode 9 winter hats.
That's so
as well,
cool.
Which I thought were really cool to see. I don't know if you saw anybody wearing any of those.
I didn't. No, I just got that text from me where you were like, "Did you get a toque or McDonald's?" And I'm like, "What the hell is he talking about?"
And you're like, "I got McDonald's."
Yeah.
Oh, Heidi Fedora's.
Heidi said it's going to be 76 in Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Congratulations. What's going to be here tomorrow?
You guys are luckier than we are. Here, let me check the weather. Actually, tomorrow's supposed to be a beautiful day here in Canada.
But don't say 14 or 15 because that'll sound really bad compared to 76. Say it in American.
Yeah, but we're in Celsius.
Say it in American.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Fahrenheit. We call it American.
We call it a moon.
You can't figure it out? No, it's going to be 77, Heidi. It's going to be 77 here.
Yeah, take that.
I got it. It's probably, 75 degrees? I don't know. What's 14 degrees? I don't freaking know. No, that's not right.
I barely do hour temperatures. I just hate when I go in a pool.
57. It's 57.
It's 57?
Yeah, that's brutal.
Oh, man, that's not even close.
Damn it.
I just hate when I go in a pool and it's 70 degrees and I come out of the pool but it's 14 degrees outside. I'm like, I don't know what the temperature is. Tell me. Andrew, you're there for 3 more days. What's on your agenda tomorrow?
Tomorrow I want to try to get into the Galaxy's Edge and Jedi Fallen Order panels, specifically Jedi Fallen Order, if I have to only choose one. I'm hoping I can get into those. Once again, I am not a lottery winner of anything, so I don't know if I'm allowed. I don't even know what stages they're at. I have to check the app and find that out. But I want to see them because I miss, so far, I haven't had this experience yet. I miss the Orlando experience of walking into a theater, sitting in a chair, a comfortable chair, and seeing an actual human being come in front of me on a stage and talk at me for an hour. I haven't had that yet, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and that, as long as the thing is, that stuff's all great, but as long as you're having a good time and you're embracing yourself in Star Wars and you're engaging with other fans, which I don't know if you have been or not. Maybe you should make a video about that. Mm-hmm. That's really what I those, like, the panels are all great, but eventually you're going to own Fallen Order. Eventually you're going to see Episode 9. It's the other stuff that's going to be...
Let's not go nuts.
But it's all the other stuff that are going to be memories for a lifetime. All right, we're going to wrap this up. Andrew has to wake up bright and early tomorrow to eat a deep dish for breakfast. Erin, any last comments you want to bring to our attention?
I lost it. No. Thanks, guys, for chatting, though. I really appreciate it. I promise I'll do a better job tomorrow.
We're going to be back.
I blame the Wi-Fi. God damn it.
Our Wi-Fi's been good. We're on the entire time. Andrew's been frozen the whole time. Mm-hmm. But we're doing it.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, you win. We've been losing a lot, I'll tell you that. So it's been a lot of fun. Andrew, any closing words about the trailer, about the experience so far that you want to talk about?
The trailer was beautiful. Cried a lot. And you're going to see a lot of fun fan reactions when the Celebration Day 2 video goes up right after this.
Can't wait for that. We're going to do, Andrew, I don't know if we'll do it when you're in Chicago, but when you get back, we'll definitely be doing a trailer video breakdown style. We'll be talking about it a lot more, and for months to come. This is going to be our Star Wars until the October trailer, and then we're going to get The Mandalorian on November 12th, and then we're going to get episode... I need a toonie. We're going to get Rise of Skywalker on the 20th, 19th. My dad's already asking when we're going to take us and what day we're going, because Thursday might not be good for us to drive down and go see it, he said. He's like...
if it's a snowstorm, we're screwed.
I'm like, it's in 8 months. He's like, I know, but we need to figure this out. Like,
we need to get a hotel. We need to...
He's like, I reserved you guys at the... What's the one with the W in downtown?
The W.
Yeah.
It's called the W Hotel.
Yeah, the W.
Oh, God. Heidi, you're right. We are drinking. It's Friday.
We'll be back to... I don't know if Andrew's going to join us tomorrow because he might be passed out by then.
I'm passed out now.
He is passed out now. He's getting tired. We'll be back hopefully around 7 o'clock p.m. tomorrow. Thanks for joining me, Andrew.
Thank you, sir.
Erin, thanks for joining.
Thanks, guys. Love you guys, too. Thanks for watching.
And before we leave, we've got a little tribute by Din from F105. He released his song for Celebration today. We're going to play that right here.
Ooh, nice.
Andrew is going to listen and not talk the entire time because his audio is coming out of the exact same thing. But anyway, everyone, thanks for watching, and may the force of others be with you.
Always.
Celebrate how great you are. I want to celebrate whether near or far. We've been running for so long. Something happened, what went wrong? 'Cause we are one in the force. We gotta get back to the source. wanna celebrate whether near or far. We've been walking on the sky. The stars are all in reach tonight. 'Cause we are one in the force. We gotta get back to the source.